Just want to remind everybody, you can call in by calling 609-663-0153. Hi, and welcome to Pyramid One World Radio. Let me tell you about the two hosts that are coming up in their show, A View of Humanity. Jamie Clark. Let me tell you about Jamie. Now with thousands of powerful connections made worldwide and years of experience as his guide, Jamie offers this healing phenomenon to those who need it most. People searching for life direction and guidance, as well as those seeking answers and closure from family and friends that have passed. With decades of experience and a lifetime working with his natural gifts, Jamie offers powerful and accurate validations of the spiritual dimensions that are all around us. Jamie is the host of a podcast called Psychic Evolution, an author of Psychic Evolution training cards, and author of the children's book, yes, the children's book, The Adventures of Rocco, should I say, and Tuki, the Kids from Mars. I've read the book. Trust me, you have to get a copy. Go to jamieclark.net and get a copy. As a spiritual teacher, Jamie shares how to integrate the natural psychic senses with the empowerment of spiritual knowledge to help create a more fulfilling life of love, happiness, and success. But wait, there is another host on the same show. That co-host is Maggie Clark. Maggie Clark is the co-host of the new podcast, Psychic Evolution, with Jamie Clark. And she's also the author, should I say, spiritual coach, healing arts practitioner. Maggie Clark is a respected tarotist with 25 years of experience for the last 14 years. Maggie has instructed people in ways of tarot, both in colleges and privately. Her newest development is her online tarot learning program. She is also an accomplished teacher. Maggie delights in teaching classes, workshops, and offering tarot readings and consultations. But you know what? She's also an author. Yes. She has this awesome book called 365 Days of Tarot. Can you believe that? A whole year, 365 days of tarot. Awesome. Inspirational tarot for your daily life. She's also a spiritual teacher, spiritual coach, and healing arts practitioner. Her home base is in Phoenix, Arizona. She's also been a tarot student of tarot. But let me tell you, she'll tell you more if you ask her, or you go to jamieclark.net to find out more. Let me tell you something that kind of opens up so many hearts. I mean, you have no idea how many hearts that this actually opened up. And when I read this on one of the reports that I do during the week, Maggie opened her Healing Arts Practice in 2011. That's true. Using Jim Sin Jitsu and remote healing, she has continued to add to her healing modalities for humans and animals with Jin Shin Jitsu for your animal companion. There are many names to the different things that she can teach you about your animal and help you with your animal. Maggie has a love for animals, especially dogs, and she is a graduate of the Lang Institute for Canine Massage, which is the only state-approved training program that offers veterinary medical massage. There are so many things, should I say, that round out these two. They are the dynamic duo. And let's bring them on. Jamie and Maggie Clark.
Thank you.
Cheers to you. That was awesome.
Oh yeah.
You know, beautifully said, and the versatility of having so many different modalities to be able to be of service to another person is huge. And I love the way that she's able to encompass, Maggie is able to encompass such a variety of ways and effectively, efficiently, not just talented in one, but she's got a versatility of a few, which is beautiful.
I'm right here. You could tell that to my face.
I do, honey.
Well, I tell you, though, I love doing her part, and that because first of all it was ad lib anyway, but I mean I read it and I gave you what a reader would spit out, when it was all done. I mean that's the way to. I mean, like, I'm not going to be like the guys on TV that you listen to, CNN, CBS, NBC, ABC, etc., and they all say the same thing because they had the same same script in front of each one of them. I don't do that kind of stuff, and I hate any kind of a script.
Excellent.
But she has so much that she can do. I mean, do you feel stifled, in a way?
Are you talking to me or him?
What
No, not him. You. I've been talking to Jamie. Jamie has been. I don't know what else to say. I mean, he's inspired me to do so many things, to grow, my feeling of what's around me, of other people, not be afraid, Ned, to just go out and who knows, man, I could step in a pile of what, and I would turn around and go, whoops. Yeah. I wouldn't lose it or anything else in that. I mean, that's and I've been doing that for I think it's like 13 years.
Yeah, God, I know it's time flying. That's what I was thinking about when we were driving back home, man.
Somebody sent me an old one of our from the other radio station, and that sent me one of the audio things, and I was like, wow, we came a long way. I mean, before it was just like question and answer, whatever, and a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it got looser and looser as it went around. And now, I mean, people don't realize when you listen to this show, when Jamie is telling even someone else that's on the phone something, it also could apply to you. Every single thing that goes on this network is touching millions of people that are on their cell phones, on their smartphones, on their computers. It doesn't matter. In fact, I got one of those weird TVs, that get everything, tap into who knows. Maybe I'll get Putin's, bedroom or something, That would be well, there's Putin.
Complete silence.
Who knows? But I'm serious. I mean, I get all these crazy things. And it was like, I get into like our shows and everything else, and I can play them right on the TV and like get this like, I hate big TVs. I really, really do. But when you go and buy a TV, the smaller ones look like a monitor. so
Yeah.
so the next one bigger, and then the one that I got, they only start at 50 inches.
Nice.
Start. I mean, I turned around to the lady. I said, "Don't you have something a little smaller? I mean, like I don't want a theater in my living room or something,
And have you gotten used to it now?
Well, whatever. I don't know. But that's just the way we are. We're simple people. We used to watch black and white.
Evolution of humanity. Yep.
Somebody the other day, and it asked me, they were crazy. They said to me, they said, he said, you've been around for a long time, and did you see the first Apollo shot? And I turned around to like, this is for that person, the Apollo shot, the first one, right? Was like, he was a little kid, little kid.
I was, yeah.
So I turned around, I said, you ever hear of a guy named Shepard? So he goes, huh? I said, well, this guy Shepard got in this tin can, went up in the air for 15 minutes, came down, and I took a day off from work just to watch him blast off.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, can I look that up? I said, yeah, Alan Shepard. It was like, duh.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're walking around, I feel like a history book. When people ask me a question, I actually know the answer, and I'm like,
start sounding like your parents. Back in my day,
and I'm serious. I mean, I'm only a couple of years younger than Biden, and look at him, man. He's in the jar.
Yeah.
All I got to do is just tighten the lid. That's fine.
Yeah, right. Yes, sir.
Hey, listen, we got somebody on the phone. Let's see who's on the phone. Who's on the phone right now? Hello. Yeah, you.
That's great. We'll just have a nice conversation, man.
Vanessa, I think, right? Vanessa? Hello, Vanessa.
I'm here. Sorry.
Ah, there you are.
There you go. I can hear bits and pieces. Hey, Vanessa, how you doing?
Hey, I'm well. I'm really excited to talk to you, Jamie and Maggie.
Awesome. We're looking forward to it. So what's up? How can we be of service?
Any messages from Spirit, but I'm just at a point in my life where things are changing, and I would just like any positivity.
Excellent. Not only what you want to hear, what you need to hear. I feel like these changes you're ready for them. And I also get kind of a step stage process, meaning I feel like if you haven't been offered an opportunity work-wise or direction-wise, that it's coming up for you very soon. But what I get is if you even go in this other new direction, it seems to have a step stage process of integration, meaning you'll start at one aspect and then you make a connection to another person or another experience, and it kind of builds on there. And Mag's going to throw down a few cards and see what we get with this. But I feel like, again, you're saying changes, but I feel like you're ready for the next phase of your life. I feel like some major things are changing.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yes. So in your reading, the focus here is the Lover's card. So the Lover's card can be about relationships. So I just want you to think about whatever I say through the lens that this could be about relationships in your life. It could be someone very special. It could be just any one-on-one relationship that you might have. And also remember that the most important relationship we ever have is with ourself and with our higher self. So when we think about the Lover's card, we want to keep that in mind as well. So you're really focused on having a right relationship with yourself, first and foremost, so that it can improve the relationships in your life. The first card that pops here is the Nine of Wands. This card specifically is recently you have tuned into your own energy again. I feel like you've come back home to your energy. You're feeling, into your own wavelength, your own frequency. And what that's doing right now is giving you a different perspective and a different look at all the relationships in your life. You do have a lot of new perspectives right now you're working with because you've come kind of returned home into your own frequency. So now every relationship that you have with yourself and with others, you're seeing it through a new lens. And you're also seeing that something is shifting right now energetically. This Five of Wands comes in strong to kind of shake up and change the energy. So what this card was going to do for you is it can potentially bring up a lot of issues, okay, just because it's an activator card. It literally activates your energy and it wants to set your energy free. Freedom is always the goal for fire, right? It wants room to roam, so to speak. And so this freedom that you want is freedom in relationships a lot of times, also a shifting, a changing, a growing into a more maturity level of relationships. So when we do that, we have to kind of shift energetic patterns. And right now, I just feel like you're reviewing this, you're processing this, you're trying to figure out the most empowering way to move forward in all relationships in your life so that you can really shift the energy and it can shift with you. And it's going to give you a lot to process and a lot to think about. Like I said, this 501s card can sometimes bring up a lot of things, issues that we have to deal with, but it's about sitting with those issues at the Eight of Cups and really feeling into the emotional places that can get stirred because we want to shift energy, to harmonize, to find peace, to find balance within and without. That Lover's card is really about creating a very peaceful, harmonious unification within and then being able to share from that place. And I feel right now, you're longing for that stillness to go within and really work with these new perspectives, work with things that you've been through, and really sit with this at an emotional level too, so that you can move forward being really responsible for how you're processing your life. Sometimes the Eight of Cups, we don't necessarily want to take the time to feel, but right now it's so important that you take the time to feel deeply into anything that you've been working with, anything you're processing. Feel deeply into the places of you that want to shift, that want to change, that want to experience a more unified, harmonious relationship within and without. That's really going to help you on your process because once you say, I'm responsible for my life, for how I feel, and for how I'm cultivating every relationship in my life, and you can tap into that on an emotional and a feeling level, then that is this place where that you can soar, that you're going to build the strongest and most intimate and most mature relationships possible because you've gained that level of maturity and emotional maturity within. Does that all resonate with you, Vanessa?
Yes, the wanting to gain maturity and having healthy relationships is definitely on my goals. So thank you, Miss Maggie.
You are so welcome. And remember that mature relationships start within us first and foremost. And then everyone we attract into our lives is a reflection of where we are in our growing process. You know, the types of relationships that come in and out, whether they're friendships or romantic or any type of relationship, work relationships, we can use those people around us to see where we are. And if we're not happy with what we are attracting, those types of relationships, then we go through this maturation process. And really what that means is you just assume the responsibility for your own happiness and go forward, which, you know, I think that you've already done. I think that you've really claimed a lot of this already, but now you're going to refine it and define it, and you will shift and change with that.
All right. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Trust yourself. As good as you are for others, just keep yourself in the same place. That way we're not so challenged, because it gets challenging if we help others and not ourselves.
And you
Okay.
can
Have a good
listen.
evening.
You can listen to the show. You can stay right where you are and listen to the show. And after the show tomorrow, just put in YouTube Pyramid One Radio, and you'll go to our channel, and you can listen to all the shows.
Cut yourself a little slack as you're moving along.
Pyramid One Radio. Thank you.
All righty.
Awesome.
Thanks, Vanessa.
You know, so
You
many
got
people
this.
can learn so many things, Ned. They just get in there and they listen to some of the shows.
Yes. You know, we talked about that a long time ago as you're creating that library, when
Yeah.
people can saunter through those pages, those pieces of information, and sharing that, they know they're not alone. They go, okay, you know what? I didn't have to say anything, but I could listen. I could vibe with what that feels like to me.
even on the audio one, and that you can stick the thing in that in your car, and you can listen to, instead of listening to, if you're not into news and you're not into your radio, you can listen to all the shows right on your smartphone.
Yeah. God bless technology. The crazy thing is the very thing that's brought us together is separating us. Remember old school communication?
Yeah, you guys remember cassettes, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And dinosaurs is roaming.
I got somebody wrote me from every once in a while, and then I go on a couple of sites, and then somebody wrote me from one of the sites that I was looking for things from, and they wrote back to me and they said, I think I got a record that you like to listen to. And I was like, okay, that sounds pretty good. So anyway, I bought this thing. There's 4 CDs to it. All the stuff that I listened to on the CD since, let me say, 1968. Those things were in these 4 records or 4 CDs. Like each CD has like 20 cuts on it, because back then they didn't make these monstrous records, that probably mean absolutely nothing today. I'm serious. I almost killed the radio. You could ask Diane, man. We're riding along, and I got the dog in the car, and the dog turns around like your dog does it all the time too. Because I've seen him in some of the pictures because he was in motion a little bit. They give you this look like, huh?
Yeah.
One of those things. Well, this thing came on the radio, song. Okay, now don't forget, I've been a musician all my life since I'm 2. I've been singing and playing and everything, and went to school for music, the whole 9 yards. And I hear these songs, and it blows every transistor in my brain. It completely blows the thing up. But I put on the other music, rock and roll, and all the rest of the stuff. Oh, everybody's happy. Dog's happy. I was happy. When I had Jake, if I put on Van Halen, he would sit right here and that big smile on his face.
Yeah.
I'm serious. But a song like life begins and ends.
Yes. And can play in your life. Do you want to listen?
The songs they put out now, it's like Groundhog Day on steroids.
Well, I don't know. You gotta love like Terrapin Station by the Grateful Dead, and Stairway to Heaven, and there's some classics that just go on and on and on, but we love it. We eat it up.
Oh yeah.
Well, with the complexity of life, if we can keep it simple, if we can just enjoy along the way, half the fun's the journey getting there. Most of us are a little freaked out going, no, it's not easy. But, the best that we can, as much as will be good for others. For me, I get myself included. That way I know that if I can help others and myself, wait a minute, first I need to help myself, and then I might be able to help others. It becomes that way of going, it's no longer narcissism, but self-realization. We cannot give what we do not have.
I love talking with Vanessa. She didn't say a whole lot, but what she got me to think about was how this place of emotional responsibility plagues humanity sometimes, like being responsible for how you feel, and really, and that's what you always say, like you've got to engage in life and live life and, feel into those places. And at this time of the year, in the fall and in the winter, this is literally when the feminine energy of feeling things takes her range, takes over. She comes in, she's like, let's feel into this. And when we really feel into ourselves, we do want to take care of ourselves. We do want to learn how to love ourselves, and we do want to enrich relationships. I love that.
Well, when they can see you can do that, it's not narcissism, but it's okay to take care of yourself. Oh, I thought you're supposed to help everyone else and not you. I'm like, well, not quite like that. So for me, when I started taking my own medicine, which I always do, but it became an okayness to go, I need to address it for myself first, the best that I can. And then if I can help myself, then we can be open and receptive to help others. Because that connection, that to me, it is the empowerment of self-realization. It's huge, huge.
What I was going to say to you, Annette, before was when we were talking about the music part, and you talk about things that really, 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 really pin your life in a way. the guy, and I don't know whether you've seen a picture of it, but my 335 that I have, the guy who did it also worked on Jimmy Page's guitars.
Cool.
So one day, the owner of the place that calls me up and he says, "Bob, you got to get over here, man. I got to show you this guy. You know, the guitar's all done and everything else. Now you got to get over here." "Ah, okay." So he's like 4 or 5, towns away from me, and so I go up to his place. He's got this like, you know how big a regular barn is. Well, he's got a regular barn like that in his backyard. He's got a lot of land, got a backyard thing, and that whole place is guitars. The whole place. I mean, he's got a room like that's got to be about 10 by 20, where they paint the bodies of guitars, spray paint like a car. That's what they do in the place. He winds, yeah. Well, he did the pickups on my guitar. So anyway, I go over the place and I see this stretch limo across the street and down the block and then from the front of his house, his first house, and I said, interesting. Maybe somebody's getting married. You never know, right? It's a Saturday. So, okay, go in the back, go up the stairs and everything else. And guess who I bump into? Nose to nose. Jimmy Page.
Nice.
Wow.
So I'm like, first of all, I didn't know whether to lose everything in my body or just die, right where I was standing. Because I mean, this is a guy that, I mean, really, I mean, you grow up listening to these people. It's I don't honor him more than anything else because I'm a musician. He's a musician. He's gotten where he is, and he's doing what he's doing, and I admire like you have no idea. A man went through hell to get to where he was
and made it.
And we spent about, just like we're talking right here, him and I spent the time in that talking to, a couple of people that were there and everything else. That just having a BS section.
Wow.
I mean, it was too much. So I mean, you want to look back at your life and the things that you do, the things that you remember, and the things that expand other people's minds. You guys would never have thought about Jimmy Page if I didn't say anything about it. And she said, "Stairway to Heaven" first.
Yep.
And he was the guy that taught me why I was playing Stairway to Heaven wrong.
Oh, nice. You learn from the best.
Yeah.
I got my guitar. He tried out my guitar and everything else, and he, said to the owner of the place, that he goes, "I want one of these." I mean, it was really, I mean, it's a really, really good guitar. And, he turns around to me and he goes, "Why don't you play it for me?" So I figured, I'm gonna blow him away, right? I'm gonna play Stairway to Heaven. Boy, was I stepped in it up.
Bing, bing, bing.
It didn't work at all. I mean, the poor guy turned around. He goes, "Stop." I'm serious. I mean, a couple of beers and a couple of guitars, and I mean, we had a blast. And when I came out the other side of that, my lead guitar player that I had in my band, right, turns around, he goes, "Where'd you learn that?" "Over Tommy's." It's like, you son of a gun! Why didn't you tell me it was that? I said I was too bad. My nerves were too bad. Downloading. I mean, it was kind of crazy, but I mean, there are people just like us out there, and too many people are afraid, afraid of this one, afraid of that one. They don't want to talk. They don't want to open up their mouth. They don't want to say anything. We have so many things painted inside of us that are ready to come out. It's only us that prevent it from happening. In that particular case, that was a good, point about it, because I got to talk to the guy and be me, like a regular would. Told him all about the band and everything else and that. And Tommy, the guy who owned the place, then he turned around and he goes, "These guys are awesome." And I had a cassette of in the car. I went and got it and we played it in the place. He goes, "Not bad." I was like,
wow.
"Hey, all right, not bad,
That's beautiful.
So it was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And just kind of getting it to that caliber for you to just tell us you're on that channel, or you wouldn't be playing with it.
You know how when you walk up, they got it, stairs is about 20 pages or 20 steps up to the second part of that barn that's there, because it's a whole second floor. And you look at the stairs, you don't look at the top of the stairs as you're going up the stairs. It wasn't until I got to the top of the stairs that I looked straight, and there he was, right at the stairs. And I was like,
Need to change that perspective.
oh man, I'm telling you.
Stairway to heaven, man.
Yeah, literally.
You know, it was funny because I had people tell me that later on. But that was only one thing. And then the other thing was Woodstock. Somebody asked me that what happened at Woodstock. I said, well, it was this one. All these people played, Hendrix and that playing 6 o'clock in the morning, waking everybody up. I mean, these kind of things were great. He says, what do you remember the most? I said, the naked women running through the mud.
And the naked men too.
Yeah, right. But
they were all like mudsliding,
It was just like too much. And I went with 2 people that were military people, my 2 cousins. So I was safe, no drugs, no nothing or anything else. And so it was kind of. But I mean, that
you were like the only one.
Yeah, exactly.
That place from where I lived was only like a couple hours.
Yeah.
If that. And one of the hours was walking from where you park your car to the. It's like a mile and a half down the thruway, New York thruway.
I've known those, man.
But I'm telling you, that's the kind of stuff is there. We got something up here listening to, by the way. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do
ready.
It. Ready. Fun.
Fire your engines.
Ooh.
Sha?
Oh, yes, Zara. My name is Zara.
Hey, Zara. What's going on?
What? Oh, I just have a general question, like like a angel reading. Could you do that?
Sure. If we get information, certainly we'll share it. Definitely. What's your question?
Just general, like an angel reading.
Okay, you got it.
So, do you want to tune into the angels?
No, I'll let you.
You're going to let me shuffle cards?
Let's do this, and then we'll piggyback on that if you're okay with it.
Why did I know she was going to say that? I mean, I'm serious. I mean, it was like deflected.
She's
it was
great.
Like, over. I knew it was coming.
Well, and I love the fact that we're just talking with Zara, yet Maggie is able to pinpoint her soul print of consciousness and shuffle the cards in reference to her experience, which is beautiful. Always found that fascinating.
No, it's interesting. So the way that I connect with angels, just so you know, Zara, is different. I think it's different for everyone. So when I shuffle the cards, when someone asks for like an angel reading, I'm just asking to hear from the angels that you're connecting with, how they can best serve your spiritual growth. Because from my personal experience with angels, they really are focused on our ultimate spiritual growth and reconnecting to our soul. So that's really the lens that I'm going to read this through. The first card that pops up here is the sun, and it's so beautiful because this is the card that, the angels, right, would be saying, this is about shining your inner light, literally shining the brightest, most authentic essence of who you are in the world and really allowing the world to feel that energy. So this is part of how you emerge out into the world, how people feel your energy, and also how you become a source of energy for other people. The sun is a huge ball of energy, right? And it really can light up the sky, first of all, and provide Earth with all of its energy, or a big chunk of the energy. So as you shine like a sun, you're being supporting a picture, a bigger picture than just you. So this might be family, it might be friends, it might be community, but it's all about shining your inner light and having the willingness to do so. I also see in this reading that the 5 of Wands and the Hierophant come back to back. And these 5s that come up are all about shifting energy so that if you need to learn how to shine your energy, those teachings are now available to you. There are opportunities right now to shine and to either teach how to do this or to learn how to do this from either a master or something that you would put a lot of focused energy into. It wouldn't just be like one book or one class or something like that. The Hierophant goes deeper into a set of teachings to help allow you to shine that light. So if you are already have a set of teachings, this is now about you stepping into a role as teacher to help express that energy so others can feel your light through the teachings. and through the words that you speak. The Hierophant is the example. It's a kind of a call out from the universe saying it's time to show up as an example in the world, to really shine your light. And right after this, you have the Tower, which is really coming out of hiding and allowing the world to see and to feel who you are. So this is going to take maybe a little courage on your part, depending on if you're brave or not. But what I really feel here is, always from the angelic realm, they're very positive, they're very encouraging, and it's all about tapping into your inner light and having the willingness to walk in your inner light and really let it express itself. Let you express who you are and know that that is all that the world ever needs. It's all the world needs from you. And it's how you can support people naturally in your life just by showing up and being your authentic self and letting people feel your light. Does that make sense, Zara?
Yes, thank you.
You are so welcome. You got anything, Jamie?
Yeah, I feel like you also have a choice to make. So either you might have to choose between a couple of different directions or circumstances, or unless you're doing multiple things at once. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I just feel like you're ready for the next phase of your life. And, moment at a time, giving ourselves patience to do the best that we can with what we're aware of. So keep going. You've got this.
And do you see anything for love?
It's interesting, but I feel like you're opening up again to that connection. I do feel like a very, very, very strong potential is by the middle of next year, 2023 or sooner, do you meet a person that you are vibing with beautifully and in a way that you will be very, very comfortable, not just bored, nothing like that. It'll be exciting. It'll be happy, and a person of a similar vibe that all you had to do was just be you. Just the circumstances lined up finally where we make that connection with our other connection, our other love, our other soul print of connection.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You got it. Definitely. Thanks for being you, man. You're making a difference.
Keep shining your light, beautiful.
And you can hang out and you can listen to the show right here.
That's awesome.
Bye. Have a great day.
You too, Zara.
Now I was telling you about when a couple of people graduated. Do you feel anybody around?
At the moment, no, not at the moment. And a good thing, I will not make stuff up. I'm not going to get, hey, here it is. Nope.
No. I never. And I tell people all the time, he is not full of anything.
Right. Well, and the good thing is I do feel like, Bob, you are tuning in more. You are being more amplified. So the good thing is it's the subtleties. You'll pick up those informations, those vibes of energy, and it's getting stronger for you. It's a very good thing. It's not a negative. Everyone can do it. It's, do you want to use it with love, or do you want to take it to?
I always get my dad's, and that it's like,
beautiful.
It's the weirdest thing, because he went on October 23rd, 61. At 4:30, well, he went about 3:30 in the afternoon. They called us about 4:30 in the afternoon. And I was, 9 or 10, and my sister was 4. And it was like not a good day, one of those kind of things. And then, it was funny because other people in my family, October seems to be the time. If you're going to go, you got to go. It's like my family kind of sort of liked. I forget exactly what the other one was, but my grandfather did it too. But on the other hand, too, my son was the 25th. A couple of days later, and it was. I'm like, duh, like what's going on, So I look at the calendar and I'm counting the days. Oh, I ain't going today. Nope, I'm not going tomorrow. And then I put a line through the week after it, and I tell God I'm on vacation that week. You can't take me. No.
Right. What's your special order, man? We're listening.
Exactly. And God does talk back once in a while. There are little subtle things like Jamie said, that you either feel or you do, or you think of something in the morning and like, well, maybe I can't do that because whatever. And it winds up that whatever you were thinking about in the morning, you may achieve in that day unexpectedly, and it just happens, or it just drops in your lap.
And going with the flow the best you can. Right.
Exactly. And I tell people all the time, and if you really, really want something, ask for it. It's just like when I taught sales and things. ask for a sale. If you stand there and beg, nobody's going to sell anything to or buy anything from you. But if you turn around and you tell them, this is what you need, sell it, sell it, sell it.
Right.
If you can sell a sale, you will get the sale.
And they'll know if it fits in their life. Yes.
Same thing with the universe. The universe, I've said it on shows how many times? The universe talks. And it will talk to you, right? It listens, right? And, a lot of people in that they have questions about anything just in the last, you got any love, money, jobs, your career. Let me see like travel, if they're going to travel to a certain place or something. I'm sure you have clients that ask you the same questions.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And out of all of those things, you can know yourself. You can do it yourself. Every single one of us are walking around. We're all psychics.
Yes. Yes.
And how many times have you said that? But it wasn't until I actually believed it that I was just like, I'm serious. You turn around and you say to yourself, yeah, I'm a self. Yeah, yeah. But then you start honing it out a little bit, like the walks in the morning. And I think that's where I get most of anything from, because I clean out my mind, and anything that comes in, that's what I work on. And it's
excellent.
Every single day is a different day, and I can actually make a day what I want a day to be.
Yes.
Yes. That is. That's Groundhog Day part 2.
In a beautiful way, co-creating those experiences. I do the very same thing. I create future memories.
When you're teaching, either one of you, when you're teaching people, what do you tell people to do to make their day successful for them? Now, it's not a general question. It's a singular to one person.
I think it always starts with gratitude. That is the first and foremost thing, and find something you're grateful for. And for each and every person, it's going to be different. For some people, they're grateful just that they woke up. For some people, they're grateful that the sun shining. It really depends. But finding that personal feeling that you can tap into that feeling of gratitude, and you can pull it from your heart, and you could just that makes an amazing day. If you can start your day with finding those things to be grateful for. And for each person, it's different, but it's a great exercise to start your day. I always wake up and that's the first thing that I think about is like, oh, thank you. This is going to be a beautiful day. I tell myself it's going to be a beautiful day when I wake up. And then I really focus on the things that I'm grateful for before I even get out of bed, usually.
And not only that, if I pray or ask for anything, I give gratitude and see and feel it as if it's already there.
That's
no
right.
longer living in a reactive state, a proactive. Yes. And when people can go, okay, it's okay to help yourself, and you can have fun, you can have nice things and amazing people. All right. Sometimes they just need to know it's possible. And then they'll give themselves permission to work with some of these different perspectives. So I'm saying, please always be questioning everything. Just be open.
Am I correct then when I say ask for gratitude, but say thank you?
Beautiful. Yes. That's beautiful. Again, if the only prayer you pray is thank you, you'll receive more to be thankful for. Mm-hmm. Vibrational match, no karma, cause and effect.
Oh boy. And then at the same time too, and all of us, and I'm sure that on the cards, and that has a lot to can tell a story more or less of what's going on around the world right now. People are pulling themselves into themselves instead of letting themselves out. They don't realize that if their energy was, how would you say it? If they released their energy, the person next to them would feel that energy, and they would release their energy, and that person would release, like dominoes.
Right, sure.
And we'd all be, there's so many people that I see every single morning, and I've said some really, really dumb things, but made people laugh. You see these people that they got no look on their face, or they look like they're on drugs, or they didn't get up. They're walking, but they didn't get up yet. And, all these kind of crazy things in that. And really, the person inside them is screaming to come out.
And can we do that? Can we allow that inner space astronaut to discover ourselves in life and find that life within us and bring it into that life's experience so that people can know it's okay to not just survive and exist. You can actually live. You can have fun. Yes. Put it to the test. Question everything. Put this to the test. Get an end result. Now we can build upon those.
We're having. Let me give you an idea of what I'm going to do on Sunday. Our dog likes to walk. Meanwhile, likes to do. You're not going to do something on Sunday? No. But look at her face. But anyway, she got the red.
I do every day.
Oh yeah. But the idea is like we have like this big, really, 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 really pretty. I mean, this is Florida, so I mean it's really, really cool and pretty mall that's over there. And of course, the place where the Christmas tree is going to go and everything else. And I figured, yeah, what the heck? On a Sunday you can go and walk, window shop and the whole 9 yards. And it's beautiful because there's a big circle and then there's a huge movie and all kinds of shops and everything else. And that it's a long walk. And then if you park in the big parking lot, to go in between all this village of shops and everything. So I figured, hey, what the hell? I'm going to go take a walk. Crazy, but true. These are things that people don't realize. You don't have to pay money or go out of your way to have a good time. I'm going to have a good time by just walking around, just looking around with the dog. And that's it. Nobody. I'll feel great. I will feel, like $1 million when I come back. But go ahead.
It's those tools and techniques that it doesn't have to be life-changing and meditating for 80 hours a day. It's like, okay, I can be practical and I can fit that stuff into my life on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so, how am I supposed to do that? Because they're looking at you as an end result. For me, I always say, and when I'm talking with, not just to, but I'm talking with, I'm looking at them as the end result of whatever it is they're talking about. And if they're living their truth, I'm loving it. I'll listen to what you're saying. But if you're talking about things and you're not living your truth, I equate that like you're 800 pounds at a gym, telling people, I'm going to show you how to look good. The average person will be like, wow, that's a beautiful intent, but that may not quite be the end result I'm looking for. We'll find our own truth, whatever that is, and being able to live with our own truth in our own way and co-create with others, not to manipulate, but to co-create. Because anything that I do in life, I wanted to make sure I wasn't making others do what I wanted to have happen. Now I've done it long enough to go, it's co-creation, not manipulation.
That's true. She's thinking.
Yep.
I always can tell in her eyes that she says, well, I would say, or whatever.
She's got a lot of compassion as well. When you can understand where a person is coming from, okay, instead of just talking to them, you're talking with them.
Right.
Sometimes people, right, they just need, okay, I count. I'm not just a number, I'm not just a consumer. I'm a person. Yes. And that own value point, then we find ourselves in that value within us. And then we begin to find ourselves within life and hopefully, if we choose to, build upon those.
Well, and Jamie, you have also spent a lot of time cultivating this place of compassion and non-judgment for people. And it's one of the things I think I admire that. It's on the top, one of the tops of my list of what I admire the most about you is that you would shake a hand with a homeless person and shake a hand with a person getting out of a limousine and shake a hand with anybody and treat them all the same. Like the respect you have just for people, because they're just genuine. And it's just a beautiful thing to watch. And if we can all cultivate more of, I guess, an attitude of just compassion and just, hey, we're all equal. We're all human. We're all in this adventure together. It just really creates a beautiful, I don't know, like a beautiful energy that just permeates from you. And so I think that's we always talk about love on this show because love is the answer. Love is all, and it just really allows us to, look past where someone's been, where someone's going, where they think they are, where they're not, and just meet them eye to eye, face to face, and just be with them in that one moment of time. You're very present with people. And so, you do really take compassion and non-judgment to a level that's admirable. I would definitely tell you that. I don't have the guts to do, to shake a homeless person's hand all the time, not because, I'm judging the homeless person just because I might not feel safe around them. And is that because I'm a woman and you're a man? Potentially, yes, because we have to generally be a little bit more cautious, in society. But it makes it look so easy, to like show up for people.
And it is, when you can just accept them for who they are. Hey, we're doing the best we can with what we're aware of, and we keep going. And when people can realize, okay, it's not like everything's perfect for you and you're trying to help me. It's, okay, I feel like you've been through your crap too. And you're able to deal with it in that way. I'm loving it. So how are you doing that? What are you doing? Then they'll genuinely ask you. Otherwise, they wouldn't be asking if they weren't interested in how you perceive things.
Mm-hmm. Ask her next time you ever get to write to her or anything else. Ask Diane why she calls me an alien. That's the reason. What he does, I do.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And she calls me crazy.
Just not used to that level of connection and communication. Yes.
Well, I told her, I said, you got to hone the crazy a little.
Yeah.
Well, but I
We're all a
will
little
say
crazy.
it's different when you're a man and a woman. Just because, culturally we have a lot more fear of expressing ourselves and putting ourselves out in situations that we've never been in or that we're uncomfortable with, and it has nothing to do with because I'm a woman, but it does have to do with the fact that I've got generations and generations of that being abused or misused or mistreated or taken advantage of or overpowered physically. We are typically not as strong as men. So it's somewhere in my subconscious and unconscious, I don't feel as safe in the world as other people sometimes just because of that. It's something I've had to really work on. And I had to literally work on having so much love and compassion in my heart that I felt confident and comfortable, but there's still, I don't walk at night alone. I don't do things that could put myself in a compromising position. Yet, if I was a man, I wouldn't have that in my head. And so there are situations that, I can understand why Diane calls you crazy, because for us, it's like, why would we talk to everyone? That doesn't make sense. It would be quote unquote dangerous. We have this in our psyche that we have to learn how to heal and get past so that we can feel confident and comfortable being that, I guess, extroverted and that okay with just hanging out and meeting anyone and shaking anyone's hand without feeling like it's going to be a threat to us in any way, shape, or form.
They had. I'll give you one that was so funny. I mean, poor guy was shocked to death, and so was the waitress. We're in the restaurant, okay? Everybody's having their dinner and everything else. Now they get down to when they have their dessert. Okay, so I got my coffee, and everybody's getting coffee and things like that. There's one guy that's on the other side, and that was like, I could hear him. He turns around, he goes, "There's only one creamer." So I'm like, I'm looking at my cup, and I got 3. So anyway, so I get up from my seat, and I go back to the other table, and I said to the guy, I said, "You sure you only got one?" Guy says, "Yeah." He says, "I'm going to ask the waitress for another 2." I says, "Nah, you don't have to do that." He says, "Why?" I says, "She left it on my plate. The other 2 creamers." And the guy says, don't come on, man." He says, "You need it for your coffee." I said, No. I said, "My coffee's fine." I said, "This is for yours."
Look at the co-creation. You weren't made to do that. You chose to.
So cool. They were so nice, though. They were like, that side of the room was totally changed.
And can we allow that beautiful gesture to come into our lives without feeling like we're taken away and that if I love myself, I don't love others? No, it's the complete opposite.
The example is, look at how small something has to be to change people's attitude or change the energy in the room or anything else. I mean,
Yes.
seriously, there was another table one time. This is going back to when we were in Charleston, South Carolina. Here it is, Thanksgiving, and we just didn't feel like cooking or anything like that. So we went out to this one restaurant that, man, they had turkey. Wow, it was flying all over. I mean, a big Thanksgiving dinner. So I wanted to go there so bad it wasn't funny. But we got this other table that's near us. There's about 12 people net around the table. and there's a guy on the head over here, and there's a younger guy on the other side of the table. And instead of, asking for things and then or passing things around the table or whatever else, this kid's just going around. He's taking it from in front of somebody. I mean, he's a real rude guy. Then in the middle of the whole thing, the guy gets on his phone and starts doing his thing. Then he starts calling somebody. So I go over to the kid and I whisper in the kid's what's his ear. He said, "It's Thanksgiving. I wouldn't do that if I were you." And I'm not kidding. So the kid's mouth dropped down to his chest. He put down the phone and he did not pick it up until they got the check. And the rest of the people that were in his table had no idea what I had said in the kid's ear.
Right.
I just wished him a happy Thanksgiving.
Beautiful. Didn't realize he's talking to his higher self. Holy God, what the?
Yeah, I mean these kind of things are. Look at what we're doing. I mean, we're on the radio right now. We're all over the place. I'm sure that people. I mean, as far as let me see. I see that.
You've expanded through the whole world, man. That's beautiful.
Let's see. Oh yeah, you're all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
They had, of course, we had to change servers, so now it goes up to Canada. So now Canada goes over to Norway or Ireland or something like that, and then it goes.
How's that been doing?
Fine. Nothing happened this time. So as long as Ukraine is still standing, there's too much garbage.
Yes.
But anyway, the idea of the whole thing is that we're going into holidays right now, and it's about time that people listen to what we're saying, what we're talking about, and the things that we've said and talked about, because people will have to start living their lives. Too long. They were pented up, and I'm not going to go into the conspiracy part or the truth of anything, because I've talked to a lot of doctors and everything else and researchers, and you'd be surprised what's out there.
Oh.
But the thing is this: people have to start living their lives like they always did, or better. They've been in a closet too long, and I don't mean that to trans or any of the other kind of things. Being in a closet, I mean it's like we have been pent up, and it's time to come out. You know what I mean? Take a. I mean, really, if you live in a cool climate somewhere. Get a friend to play some football outside or something, or take a ride on a bicycle, or take a long walk. If you got a dog, the longer walk than he wants to go on.
Yeah.
I mean, all of these things that are possible to expand on what you already have. Everybody is a great person. There are no foobar people, in a sense. I mean, it's one of these things that where people have to realize what they are. And by doing that, like you do all the time, realize that you love yourself.
Yes. And it's okay to do it.
Right.
That's the
point.
point.
If you get yourself, you're going to love the people that are around you.
Yes. And you get used to that. And then you magnetize more things, more people, more experiences to match that love vibration.
Exactly.
And we begin to see no longer coincidence and luck, but precision, synchronicity on the universe's part.
Ah, synchronicity. I love that song.
Isn't that funny? One word can take you down yesteryear.
We did.
That's how powerfully we speak to the soul and the mind.
We did that song. We were in a the first place that we did it was in a what the hell was that? Iceland? Thule Air Force Base.
Cool.
Look it up. You'll see where it is. And we were playing this big thing that with all these flyer boys and everything else, and then military and the whole thing. And they got this rule that you're only allowed to play at so many decibels. They have a limit. They have a guy walking around with a decibel meter to make sure that you're not playing too loud. You know. Well, if you ever heard the beginning of that song, it does not start low at all. I mean, at 30 feet, we could part somebody's hair. So,
that's power.
And I didn't sing that song either, Ned. I was just, but we were two lead guitar players in that song, and that me and the lead guitar player. But my bass player was also my co-lead singer, And he used to sing that song. It was like you put the needle on the record.
Nice.
That's how that thing sounded. And it had a drummer that could beat Bonham.
Nice.
I mean, he was that kind of, double drums, the whole thing, and
Wow.
like he was unbelievable. He was an ex-Dodger player.
Oh, no, I'm kidding.
He had arms up here, bigger than my thighs.
Right. Wow.
He was the guy that threw the ball at 119 miles an hour at carnivals around America. So I mean, let's face it. I mean, he was, and he just did it like nothing happened. But anyway,
Yep.
all those crazy things that we have in our memory, and all the things that we can do to develop love for other people. All the stuff that you see on TV, please, ladies and gentlemen, don't believe everything you listen to. Go look. I say this all the time. I say it. I've been saying it ever since computers were out. Don't open your mouth unless you go and look it up and read. Read. It's good for you. Good. Go read. Or listen. Now, video on YouTube, there's a billion of them up. Pick one subject, put it in search, and you'll get all the things for that subject. And then make up your mind. Come to a conclusion. You will. But if you listen to them all, you'll see which one is the truth.
Well, and getting a chance like you're doing, you're putting all these shows together, giving people a living library to check out, to go, right, it's at our access. It's at literally your fingertips. Do you want to do this? And what is the energy that you want to put into it? Because that's what the cost is, your time and energy. And are you willing to better yourself to be okay with that? Because to me, it's a great thing to help ourselves.
Yeah, we got, let me see, JK will be on next Tuesday.
Cool.
And
yeah. Congratulations.
There's another host in it that'll be on. I'm trying to get him to go for either a Friday or Saturday.
Okay. From where?
I'll tell you all about it now once we develop this thing.
Cool.
But he's into, in fact, I'll write you and I'll tell you, where to look all this stuff up.
Excellent.
But excellent stuff that's coming. I said that, when it came to like out of this pandemic thing, and that when people started listening to these shows or listening to the radio or listening to us on their smartphone, they weren't doing it for a long time because everybody heard all this fear stuff on TV and everybody was researching everything. How many people died in my state today? When none of the numbers were ever right anyway.
How about presentation?
Oh, God. I mean, really. And I'm not even going to get it. I mean, I have my own thing in that I do in that once in a while. And that there's a couple of people in Canada that I jump into once in a while, and we're talking like I got the news, man. I got the numbers. I got the stuff. you think they're? I'm telling you, I'm waiting for the guys with the glasses and the funny what's the suits to come up to the front door.
You'd be surprised. That stuff is real.
If you're in the radio business, you get to know a lot of other radio people that are out there, and bigger networks and things. And they'll say, "Hey, did you ever hear about?" "No, I never heard about that. Let me send it to you." Zoop.
Yeah. Yep.
So
communications that quick now. Old school used to be, oh, hey.
Right. That's all right, though. When I go, I'll be faster.
Sure.
When I want to communicate, you'll know I'm around.
Oh yeah, that's the point, right?
Just a thought away,
love, man. Yes, exactly.
Definitely. So you guys,
good, brother.
That'll be it then until the next time. But the next time, we're going into holidays and things. I think you guys are on
pretty close to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we're in that month.
Awesome. God, our time flies, man. It's been years and years and years we've been together on this show.
November 8th, is that election day?
No, it's November 8th. You're right.
Good. What? Huh?
We'll talk about anything but elections.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
Put that in the ads. Yeah. If you want to hear something other than elections, tune here.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's not easy, but it becomes such a saturation of consciousness. People don't know what to accept. They don't know what to be open for. And when you have that versatile, like, I don't understand, but I'm trying to reach out and grab something to understand, it becomes a little bit easier to get people to feel like they're on their own. When we can come together and people can feel that it's okay to be you, and that you can have a place to go to just be you and have a conversation, that's when it gets even more empowering.
And that reminds me, while we're talking about those subjects, the reading that you did for me,
Yes.
I put that on my phone and I played it for a bunch of people, and they were saying, "She really does that?" I said, "Yeah, you fools."
Yeah.
I mean, they were impressed. They were all very, very, very impressed.
She just reads the cards, man. It's that, like, dang, that's
Yeah,
powerful.
but you got to, I don't know whether maybe it's a Southern tarot reading. I mean, we have some of them down here. There's a whole town that has nothing but psychic. You've probably seen that somewhere. That's nothing but spiritual people. There's very good people that they're there. But then you get the other ones that all over the place, and they're like, you're coming into money. That's a good. In fact, I got one on my email right here. It's telling me, that's the direction I'm going. I said, well, I wrote back to them. I said, well, if I'm coming into money, pay me.
Thanks. You can send the donation here.
Right. That's good.
Here's a link.
Nothing, man. I'll send you the bill.
And the best that you can't be more specific as much as possible. That way it moves from good guesswork and generalities to there's no way you could know that, except that's exactly what I'm dealing with. I'm like, yes, without judgment, understanding, and compassion.
Uh-huh.
And how did that reading sit with you?
Yours?
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
Cool.
I mean, it's very, how can I say this? It makes 100% sense.
Perfect.
You know what I mean? It does. I mean, it's like you look at the thing and then you say, well, there's too many things that integers in it. Like, some things could be right, some things could be wrong. But who does that? Me. I make it right or wrong.
Right.
The possibility is in the ethers.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
whether I
Full
want
potential.
to take it or not, that's my choosing.
Yep.
So I'm the end result. Ooh, that's terrible, ain't it?
Yeah, or a great thing.
But, yeah. I can do a Biden imitation. But anyway,
it's always fun, man.
serious.
It's always great.
We always laugh. We always have a good time, and I'm hoping that everyone that's out there that's all listening to this thing are saying, "Hey, you guys are crazy." No, we're not. We're humans. Are you?
Be you, just be you, and
That's
open
right.
it to life, man.
Exactly. And by the way, anybody wants a copy of this show, and you don't go on YouTube to look up Pyramid One Radio and find the channel and find the show, or go into Pyramid One Radio /Wix, WIX. If you go into that, you will find this video within a couple of days, I guess, dead center in the middle of that website, playable to anyone who goes on that site.
Awesome.
So you can
Thanks for
see
all
it.
that you do.
There we go. We're good.
Yes, definitely. Let's do this.
Oh, do we do it or do we do it?
Yes.
Jamie Clark, Maggie Clark, the dynamic duo. Like I always say on the show, God bless y'all. Bob Charles.